May not be able to do it that way though. It's not going to allow it. Is my mouse going to go over there? Yeah, it is. All right. So we can do it this way. Okay, are you guys okay with seeing it this way? You guys have the big screen. All right. Okay. All right. So we're going to start out with the birthdays for February. We have Tracy Hatcher, February 5th. Maureen Stelter, February 7th. Rick Jansky, February 8th. Jim Banasiak. February 15th. Teresa Kinster, February 17th. Suzette Kabaki, February 25th. And Janice Mettenkus, February 28th. Happy birthday, everybody. And there's a birthday cake here. For all of you who are not joining us, you're missing your birthday cake.
Get some another day.
All right. So I'm going to turn the camera back on. Where's Adam? Adam! There you are. Hold on a second. Let me turn the camera back on. Oh, this is driving me crazy here. I can't get back to this.
You need a clicker.
Yeah, I know I do. Oops, don't want to poll. There we go. Start video. All right. There. Now everybody can see you.
There you go. Am I up?
You're on.
All right. Is everybody getting like, I'm sending out like some emails here just recently on rates. I don't know if anybody's getting these things, just like what's going on in the market. You know,
I'm getting them.
I just want to kind of briefly talk about what's going on in the market because it is an interesting market. And, you know, I think sometimes it's good to see through the forest when you're talking to your clients rather than look at the trees. I mean, we all know what's going on. I mean, you know, it's coronavirus, you know, spooking markets. But the thing is, a little historical background on me. I used to trade mortgage rate securities for Northern Trust Bank, so that's kind of like my background. And this was ages ago. And when I started the first mortgage company back in 2000, it was a 5-year plan. I had a couple parents with terminal cancer, and it was just kind of like one of those things. I'm like, well, you know, I'm going to just do this. This is, if you remember back then, the techs were falling out of bed. That was the .com crash. And they were putting computers on the floor, and I'm just like, it's going to go all automated and algorithms and everything else. So, but anyway, nonetheless, I started the mortgage company, and it's because stocks were falling out of bed, kind of like what they're doing the last couple of days. But rates were 8.5% back then. So the thing is, I look at it as a short-term play. I figured I'll just be in the market while rates fall. I didn't suspect, and I don't think any of my buddies in the trading field would ever suspect that we've been in a 20-year downward spiral and be where we're at today. I mean, with the 50-year historical average being about 8.5%, 8 in the eights for 30-year fixed mortgage, I'm sure some people can remember even higher. We never really suspected we'd be where we're at today. But it's spooky, and I will tell you this, and this is this market, when you're out there talking to your clients and they're like, oh, rates are low. Everybody expects rates to be low now. Average consumer, anybody that's looking out there thinks rates are going to be, we're down here because, you know, this is where interest rates should be. But if you think about it, what's going on right now, and you look at China and things like that with, you know, they're shutting down factories. We got a lot of economies out there in Europe and around the world that are just barely squeaking by. And when you start shutting down the factory of the world, China, all right, and, you know, the spook of the markets, it's probably for good reason. And the reason being is, and I don't subscribe to fear, I subscribe to economics, is that they are the factory of the world. They supply everything we do. We've outsourced for so long that we're kind of like out of touch a little bit. We don't make a lot of our own products. So the thing is, when there's less of something, like real estate, okay, what happens? Prices go up. All right, well, that's inflation. And inflation, and especially when the economy's cooking along, and it's cooking along at least right now, you look past this and we could see, you know, we might be low now, but if inflation really starts to gain foothold, and we don't go into a recession, or if things like still, where it's an election year, a lot of what ifs still out there. This is kind of a gift horse right now. And I say that because, and I've been saying it forever, but it's like when rates are this low, even banks don't even like to lower rates. I mean, the treasuries are far lower than mortgage rates are right now. And that's because banks, at some point, they got to say, we are not going to make any money here if we loan at these rates. The product that all banks are pushing right now is the 15-year. The 15-year fix right now is in the twos, all right? And that is, and I wrote this in a couple of my newsletters that I send out, that is like something that, if you've ever had a 15-year fix, did anybody have a 15-year fixed product? I mean, it is a wealth accelerator, like no tomorrow. And when inflation, two things happen. Rates go up, but so do property prices. So you think about it, you get in now, your clients get in now. This is the things I talk about with my clients. Anybody that works with me, I always bring this up. Sometimes the 15-year fix is not necessarily the, appetizing, when you see the difference between a 15-year, everybody wants to beat the landlord. But the thing is, it's something to think about because the positioning of yourself or your clients down the road, remember, they're going to buy their first home. Well, I mean, if the 15-year fix is only a little bit more, well, remember, they're going to come back again and buy again. And if they have that much more, they're going to be buying that much more down the road, maybe, so it's kind of one of the things that you want to think about, looking through the forest, not just at the trees. I mean, yeah, great rates are low right now. I talk to people about refinancing. I've been talking to tons of people, obviously, about refinancing right now. And I talk about the 15-year fixed because, remember, people are in a product for a while. And yeah, you can save $100 here, but really when you go to that 15-year fix, you're saving a boatload over the life of the loan. So depending on how long you've been in the property, you got to look at that stuff. It's like I look at somebody, I'm like, hey, when did you buy the property? Well, you've been paying for 10 years. Let's just figure this out. Let's see exactly where you're at. So when you're talking, and I don't want everybody to like analyze, I just want to send out the information out there when I send these newsletters out. But it is something that, it makes you look like an expert when you can talk just a little bit about what's happening out there. Coronavirus, a million viruses out there, flu's killing people. It happens. I mean, it's just, but the thing is, when it spooks the markets and they're shutting down factories, that's a bigger deal. Okay. And it's like, now it's moving into, my niece just got sent home from Milan because they shut the schools down. Okay. And she's studying architecture in Milan. And I'm like, well, wow, that's kind of crazy. I've never heard of that happening before. So that's interesting stuff, but still, nonetheless, I'm like, it's still the flu. It's something new, but the thing is, the economics and the environment that it's out there now with this, if it does turn pandemic, is interesting only in the fact that the way I look at it is an economics point, because everything is being manufactured over there and prices are going to go up. So anyway, it's just one of those things that I like to bring up. It's like, I think it's a good talking point, something to make things to talk about. But the thing is, if we do inflation, remember, inflation, that also rises property prices. So get in low, you got great rates. I mean, this is going to be water cooler talk at some point, somewhere in the future. I don't know when, but
Adam must be camera shy. He keeps walking away from the camera.
I was
Are you able to move it on it?
But I keep forgetting that's on new phone. But anyway, but that is something to think about. And it's like, when you're talking to your clients and they're like thinking about whether they want to buy. Another thing I'm going to bring up, and I brought this up in the Valpo office when I was talking to Roxanne Gottlieb. Roxanne Gottlieb had this ridiculous home in an area called Bridalwood, right?
Bridal Path.
Bridalwood, I don't know. It's on something path in Bridalwood. Yeah. Taxes on this $1.5 million house were $13,111. Somewhere in that ballpark. Now, you look at something like that and you're like, wow, that's pretty good substantial taxes. But the thing is, for that price point, you compare that to a property in like Lincolnshire, Illinois, those taxes are going to be $34,000. Okay. And at some point, and this is like, I talk to a lot of people because I'm formerly from Chicago and I moved here 10 years ago, and clearly because what I do for a living. But when you start seeing taxes for a similar price property in similar areas and what you're getting for your money, and you're looking at a tax difference, it's not a couple $1,000. It's basically college education for your kid for a year. You got to really start examining your values. And I think this is going to, there was an article in Crain's Chicago Business last week or a week before, and I think I put that out there too. But they were talking about the wealthy are now starting to leave Illinois. All right. It's not just they're starting to, this is becoming aware. This is actually this is an actual movement that's happening. So the thing is, if you have high-end listings here, and this is where I'm going with this, it would not be a bad idea to think about broadcasting this stuff more up there. Because I think for me, like I was a Chicago guy, I was born and raised in Chicago. I used to come out to Indiana all the time because my parents and grandparents had places in Michigan City. If you know the McLeans out there, they've been out there for 100 years. But the thing is, I used to go there, but I remember driving there, and I would go past, you know, you're looking at the refiners and everything else, and it's like, you know, you're like, ooh, it smells over here, Dad. But the thing is, you start seeing this, now you start looking at the values. And the thing is, Rose Dobbins in the other office said, I asked Roxanne how this whole thing started. I'm like, what are the taxes on that property? And Rose kind of jokingly says, well, if you have to ask about taxes, you probably shouldn't afford to buy the house, or you shouldn't buy the house. You know, it's probably too expensive for you anyway. But I'm like, really now, taxes are really important because people don't care about the price of the house. They're looking at the taxes because that's the starting point. Your taxes are $30,000. You're starting with a $2,500 a month bill before you even start talking about the mortgages. Mm-hmm. So, you know, it's worthwhile broadcasting. If you don't know any of your, you know, your partners up in Chicagoland area, and I tell them the same thing about to the people up in Chicago. If you don't have partners in Indiana, you guys should meet some of these people, because some of these people, and I talked to some of my clients that I've done loans for 20, 30 years ago, or not 20 years ago, but when they bought their houses up in Lake Forest, they're sitting in their houses, their kids are out of college, and they're sitting around twiddling their thumbs thinking, I'm like, I use this kitchen, I use that bathroom, I use this, I sit here and watch this TV, and I sleep in that bedroom upstairs. What do I need 5 bedrooms for? I have parts of the house I've never even gone into. And this is like a true thing. And their taxes have gone incrementally up. I have one client that their taxes were $4,900 when they bought the house. In 2004, they are now $23,000 a year in Park Ridge, Illinois. And it's not really a big house, but the thing is, they are asking me, how do you like Indiana? Yeah. So the thing is, I just actually subscribed because I'm doing something for Chicago Social Magazine and Modern Luxury and North Shore Magazine, where they're doing a real estate visionary thing, and they're going to be doing an interview with me. But nonetheless, this is like interesting stuff to talk about, interesting stuff to bring up to your clients, interesting stuff, you know, to make you look like, you know, you are the local expert. And I mean, when people start looking at Indiana and they're coming from Chicago, they don't know anything. I mean, I came here, I must have looked at 50 homes, you know, and it was pretty much in Valpo because I had a sister that lived there. But nonetheless, even Valpo itself has so many different communities. I don't know. I mean, I ended up in Shorewood, which I feel pretty fortunate. I like it over there. But the thing is, you know, there's a lot of great dynamic communities around here, and they really need your expertise. You know, these people that are, you know, grew up in Winnetka and they moved to Winnetka, they know the city pretty well. To use a realtor up there is usually kind of like, well, we could probably do this ourselves. You know what I mean? And negotiate the deal themselves. They're pretty astute people. But the thing, when you come out here, it's wide open. There's a much more need for a realtor here. So I think being the expert and, you know, having just a little bit of talk about it is going to be just huge. And you guys are in pole position here, you know, where you're at here, because you're in such a great location. In the Sherrville office, I think this is one of the probably a primo location, because you're kind of between the St. John, you know, Valpo, you can reach both ways. But anyway, that's just what I want to talk about. Also, lastly, and I'm just going to bring this up, since rates are low, I sent this out the other day. We have a program called Lock and Roll. Now, Lock and Roll means if you've got a client, I mean, rates are low. You got some clients that may not be looking right now, or they're just starting to look, or they haven't found a property. We can actually lock them in. Okay, I can lock them in without a property, without a contract. All right, if they want to take advantage of low rates, something to talk about again. But also in this market, it's very volatile. Rates move around. You know, one of the things why I'm not at a Wells Fargo or a Chase or a Sentier is because I don't want to be pigeonholed into one bank's product. Okay. They give a, you know, every day Sentier, they send out a list of rates. That's where they're at. And, you know, they move around. You lock somebody in, rates get better. I don't necessarily have the ability to move them to a better rate. I float everybody down. I hedge everybody. I work every deal like a stop loss. If you know what a stop loss is, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to float anybody in this market. I lock them in. And if rates get better, fantastic, good for them. If they get worse, I don't have to have that conversation with them that we floated them and, you know, I look like a, you know, a heel. So anyway, things to think about. I'm gonna be posting the rates. I don't post them out. Yeah, go ahead.
How long do you lock them?
It depends. I mean, I can lock them out for like 90, 120 days. Yeah, oh yeah, of course. I mean, it's like, you know, every bank's hedge their money, so it's going to be a cost. But 0.375 is about the highest cost. You know what I mean? So, and that would be to rate. You know, now keep in mind, if they're shopping for a home, they don't necessarily tie it into their property. They're not going to be paying for that rate. All right, we're just locking them in there. By when they go under contract, I can still float them and bring them to somewhere else. You know what I mean? So we can always improve the pricing if it's better at that time. So, but it's a nice secure thing. You know, it's a security blanket for these guys, for these shoppers. But that's pretty much it. So.
Right. Adam, guys, Adam and Donna supplied all the lunch today except for a few things that we brought in, like birthday cake and stuff like that. So thank you guys, we appreciate it. And Donna, let me see if I can get you on screen without getting, where are you? There you are. Yeah, let's move that. I can't see you. I'm breaking everything. There.
Thank you so much, Tammy, for allowing me this opportunity. I'm actually came prepared to present awards today, but there are a couple of things that I'd like to reiterate. And the number one thing is the importance of asking questions. Very often when I attend the meetings and I ask at the end of my presentation if anyone has questions, and more often than not, I'll receive no questions. And so I am going to talk about two questions that within the last couple of days, realtors have asked me. Those realtors are present, so I won't embarrass anyone, okay? One question was, why do you need an operating agreement? In that case, the buyer was an LLC, okay? Does anyone know why we need an operating agreement?
To determine who can sign.
Okay, so an operating agreement is an instrument that creates a limited liability company. So it's a fictional, or it's a pretend entity that is created when the creator sits down and decides how, according to, of course, certain legal guidelines, how they are going to fund or operate the business. Okay, so that's what it is essentially in a nutshell. And what the title, why does the title company want this agreement, to see a copy of the agreement? The number one reason is we want to know the name of the person who has the legal authority to sign the purchase agreement, the closing documents, or has the right to bind the corporation to the terms of the purchase agreement. Purchase the property. We also want to know, more importantly, that the operating agreement includes the authority and the right to own real estate. Not all operating agreements include that right or that authority. If it does not, then it either has to be amended or the LLC has no right to purchase the property and enter into a legally binding contract. So though, and among other things, we want to make sure that all of the proper clauses and provisions are included in it. So that is why we need it. When we asked for it, it was provided right away. Because the worst situation is at the closing table or the day before when we find out that the person sitting at the table is not the person that has the authority to sign documents and things like that. So not to scare you or anything, just to make you aware, yes, go ahead and ask me any question you want to ask me. If I don't have the answer, I'll find it. I guarantee you have my promise on that. The next question I'd like to talk about is, Realtor actually asked me, a new Realtor, that was new to Coldwell Banker, why should I use Burnett Title when my favorite closer is Kevin Zaremba at Chicago Title.
Oh, that's a very good compliment.
Yes, so I've always closed with him. He always does a fantastic job. And my response was, thank you so much for asking that question. Because number one, you can use Burnett Title and still close with Kevin Zaremba at Chicago Title. So she did not know or understand that. So I know most of my realtors here, I don't see anybody new around, already know and understand that. Pick your favorite closer, anyone at Fidelity or Chicago Title, we're on board with it. But more importantly, why should you place your title order with us? Because we're the best title company in Northwest Indiana. We are the smartest, we're the brightest, we're the quickest. We care more for you. You are the sole reason why we're in business.
All true.
Yes. So that is why you should use us. Financially, we're backed by the largest real estate company in the United States, which is Realogy. And we're underwritten by Fidelity National Title and Chicago Title, the biggest and the most financially secure underwriter in the United States. What more can you ask for? All right? Any questions? Yes.
Oh, this was on, like, for your first question that you were discussing, for like the operating agreement. I got a guy that, like this, let's see, but he buys like multiple properties. Do you only have to see it once, or is it?
We only have to see it once.
Okay.
When you send us an operating agreement, we have a place where we store operating agreements. So if you bring that customer back the second time, we won't ask for it.
Gotcha.
Absolutely. Very good question. Everyone hear that? If you have an investor that you're working with, we retain copies of operating agreements or corporations, their bylaws and articles of incorporation. We retain copies of all of those documents for future reference.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Anybody?
For lunch.
No, I
Go
guess.
on.
Did somebody have a question?
I asked what's for lunch.
Honestly, I don't know. I haven't been in there yet.
You have to come see.
Yeah, you should be here. If you're hungry, we got food. Okay. Okay. Go ahead with you can do your words.
Okay, do you want to pull them up on the screen? Do you have them?
I do have them. Hold on here. To them.
Rick is a queer.
Oops, back up.
Well, she's getting that information together.
There we go.
First, I'd like to thank this office for almost unbelievable support. It's pretty much 100% in this office, even though our capture rate doesn't reflect that. Every single realtor in this office has support for Burnett Title. Even I thought Ken Peach was standing here.
He snuck into his office.
Because he does primarily commercial property, yet he will visit Burnett Title. He'll ask us for property reports. He supports us. So where is Dan Barracks? Or Dave Barracks, excuse me. Yes, referring to. Yes. Dave Barracks' wife works for Meridian, some other company, I don't know. And yet he supports Burnett Title by attending my workshops, by being warm and friendly to us, etc. So there is no one basically in this office that I have had to break their arm to convince them to support Burnett Title. And I'm open to that.
I will bring it.
I appreciate that. So,
Is this
according to the business plan, I have to honor and recognize realtors that give us title orders and actually close with us. So Cookie Zalesnik closed 4 title orders with us today. I'll just move right here. Rick Jansky closed 5. Way to go, Rick.
Oh, I get a bag.
James Oster,
Not here.
Tanya Watson closed 7.
Not here either.
Suzette closed 7 transactions. Way to go, Suzette. Lisa's typically here. She's not here today.
Everybody's terrified of a drop of snow.
Yeah, Brian Oster closed 9 deals with us. Way to go, Brian.
Yeah.
Kathy and Jim Higgins closed 10 deals with us.
Oh, there she is. You were over there a minute ago.
I know, this door was locked. I didn't want to be on display.
Kathy Kester closed 10 deals with us. Maureen Stelter closed 12. Woo. Dan Kasich and his team closed 16 transactions. I wanted to point out something about Dan. Dan was actually going to get 2 goodie bags from me today because Dan is the king of selecting title from the buyer side. So even though the listing side is only 16, probably about that amount or more deals we have from him in which he selected title.
See Dan's iPad on the screen. Is that you, Dan Kasich?
I'm here.
All right.
Way to go, Dan!
How do you do it?
They said, how did you do that?
Most agents don't even look. I just blow it right past them. And then I remind them, look, read the contract. The seller cannot make that part of the contract. It's the law.
Right, exactly.
Nice.
Way to go, Dan. Thank you very much.
All the other agents hate you, but.
Joe
I still love you,
Rodowski.
Dan.
Joe, I thought Joe was here earlier. Where'd he go?
He had to go somewhere.
Okay.
22 deals.
Whoa.
Way to go, Joe. And Gina Mussolino.
She's not here either.
Also not there.
Yes, 42 transactions. Unbelievable.
Awesome.
The top agent is, drum roll, 51 closed transactions. Woohoo! Gina Guarino.
Told you you had to come down here and take all these awards back.
He did the all.
Oh, yeah.
And actually, she's the top agent in Northwest Indiana for support from that title. So, way to go, Gina. We also have a trophy coming a little,
Oh.
yes, for your team. So, thank you so much for your support and for working with us. Take as many goodie bags as you like. Take one for all of your team. Yeah. And the top office and the baddest office in Northwest Indiana is no less than the Sheriffville office. So once again,
Nice. Good job, guys.
yes, you guys rocked again with 57.3% capture rate. And like I say, it really should be 100% because it excludes new construction, which a lot of our agents do new construction. It excludes commercial or those transactions.
Foreclosures you can't do
Yes,
too.
yes,
Yeah.
or when buyer selects on our listings. So pretty much perfect capture rate. You closed 269 Burnett title transactions, and that is phenomenal. I congratulate and thank all of you and wish you ultimate support, success in 2020. You
Thank
have
you.
a certificate, and you two also have a crystal
Right.
plaque.
We'll put that on the wall.
Woo, thank you.
I'm gonna find all those other trophies that are hiding around this office somewhere from you.
And feel free to come
Thank
upstairs
you.
for as much chocolate as you like. We have lots of, I've restocked.
I always do. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Also, if you wanted to go over the Illinois.
Oh, yeah, the Illinois. Illinois is a really tough market because the controller of the deal in Illinois are attorneys.
Right.
So Cookie was able to work with Burnett Title Friendly attorneys and close 13 deals. That's in addition to the 4 deals that she closed in Indiana. So congratulations, Cookie. As well as Gina Mussolino. I guess she is dual licensed in both Illinois and Indiana and closed 6 Illinois deals in 2019.
We need to find out who that attorney is that Cookie's using.
Good question. Does anyone know?
Sharkey,
Ed Sharkey? Okay. We probably should get him in to
Talk to him. right now.
introduce himself and
Yeah.
talk to everyone.
Roberta Bushio is Burnett too.
Or Versio.
Roberta Bushio, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna send out an email and ask if anybody knows any
Illinois.
any attorneys in Illinois. That way we can.
I used for Lucio for Illinois.
Okay.
She'll use Burnett.
Okay.
And for those of you that were at the workshop, our attorney, I forget his name right now. What's his name?
You're as bad as I am. Flavio.
Tweedle.
No, Robert Tweedle.
Robert Tweedle is also licensed in Illinois,
Okay.
and he is Florida title friendly.
We need to get a list of attorneys that.
They used to, but it wasn't allowed anymore, right?
But you're not allowed to do a list per se. Lists aren't allowed. You know, it's,
But you're allowed to invite them in.
yes, we allow.
They're
we're
preferred
allowed-
They're allowed to
attorneys.
pass out their
Has nothing to do with title. They're preferred attorneys.
I know it is more a legal question. You're like promoting. But we'll talk about it later.
Okay. Okay. Now, let's see if I can get this thing to work. Okay, so now we're gonna do the office awards. We're gonna do this. I don't know how you guys have done it before, but we're gonna do one serious award. Then we're gonna do one funny award. Okay. Hey, do you guys online want to see the names, or do you want to see the awards? Because the funny ones are really hilarious.
Funny ones.
You want to see the awards? Okay. All right. So let me get the video going again. All right. So you can see them. All right. And let me see if I can make that. All right. So most listings for a team. Gina Garino's team with 90 listings for 2019. So the series awards all look the same, but just names and everything. You're gonna get a workout going up those stairs with all these. Okay. Now for the funny one. All right. Okay. I don't even want order the funny ones are in. So I'll let you guys online see it. Okay, it's the Keystone Award for Tom Gregory for losing his office keys more than anyone. I think I came in second. I came in second, my friend. Huh? For your office upstairs? Oh, well, then that award sure went to me then probably, because I've locked myself out of that office like twice.
Once for me.
I think everybody does it eventually. Most listings for an agent, Cookies Lesnick. She's not here. So we'll leave the not here is there. Okay, so let's see what the next funny one is. And again, this one's not here. Okay. All right. You can't read it, but this one is Techno Terror for Roberta Thomas for having the most fear of technology, but facing those fears head on.
I protest. I think I'm good.
Oh, no. You're close, but they're not where she's at.
I'm sure that.
Okay, highest average list price. Greg, I can never say his name. Ozarzak, yes. 1.3 million, 2018. It's not your name. Yep.
Oh.
Okay, wait, back that up. I forgot my funny one. Okay, this one's fun.
How do you get a half?
This is, well, let's share the deal with somebody.
Oh, I got you.
Wealth Builder. This one goes to Rick Jansky for trying to help us all retire by taking care of the lottery pool every week. Listings closed for a team. Gina Garino with 84.5 closings. I have no clue how you got a half one. Ask your mom.
Went south right at the end.
Yeah. All right. Dan, you're Greg, neither one's here. Okay, anyway, this one what popped up just yesterday, this funny one did. This one is Best Maids for Dan Kasich and Greg Myricks For the fastest cleaning of a house in history, they had it sparkling clean before the inspector arrived.
That's why we make the big bucks.
Yes, I heard the story. Most listings closed for an agent, Kit Magnuson, with 23.9 closings in 2019.
Wow.
Wow.
Let's see what our funny one is. Like I said, I've got these covered. I have no clue what's in here on these. Okay, this one's good. This one is the office cheerleader. Goes to Gil O'Donnell for old birthday cakes, planning charitable events, and always having a positive attitude.
That's Baker.
Yeah. Fire closings for a team. Gina Garino again. 72 closings, 2019. His arms are gonna fall off carrying all these up the stairs. Oh, this one, darn it, he's not here. Okay, this one. This one is for, it's a Dale Earnhardt Award. Goes to Joe Rogalski for racing through the office at high speeds, drafting and taking turns at unbelievable speeds. Nobody walks faster than Joe. Buyers closed, most buyers closed for an agent. Brian Oster with 18 closings. Most buyer deals. See what this one is. Well, she's not here either. This one is the Bermuda Triangle Award. It goes to Tracy Hatcher. The mysterious desk for closing files go to disappear.
How did she get?
The mysterious desk for closing files go to disappear. We can never get the closing files
Oh,
for
okay.
So we've had closings be months behind before we get them. It's like, please go somewhere. Total closings for a team. Gina Garino with 156.5 closings in 2019. Congratulations. You guys kicked butt this past year. All right. All right. Again, another one's not here. This one's for her. Thanks for always walking off with other people's pens. This one I should have put on here was given to her by the front desk.
What's the award called?
Pen Stealer Award.
Pen Stealer Award. Veronica.
Yeah.
Nice. You guys leave all the pens on my desk.
Total closings for an agent. Cookies Lesnick with 38 closings. Most total closings for an agent. All right. Next fun one goes to, it's the Super Snacker Award. Anybody want to guess who got that one?
Rick
Super
Jansky.
Snacker. You got it, Gina Mussolino. The award for the person who is always snacking but never gains a pound. The woman that can eat but never gains weight. Highest average sale price, Nadine Phillips. $426,000 average sale price in 2019. Nice, very nice. Okay, Adam. So our next funny one. Ken, there you are. You came out. You got an award, huh? Ken received the Office DJ Award for playing music to start Rita's day off and Carrie's day right. Always playing music first thing in the morning and in the evening. So, Office DJ. Well, you need to be here more in the mornings than in the evenings. So I'll let Adam present this one.
Brian Oster got GRA Agent of the Year. 61% of the mortgages went through GRA. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Wow.
that's what the stats said.
Well, I'm new here, so anyway, well, fantastic. Well, thanks so much. This was awesome. I'm glad.
Glad he's not here.
You know,
He was in here yesterday. He pops in yesterday.
You know, I also want to kind of throw out there, and I'm not sure if this is because I was kind of like going through the numbers, and they scrub these numbers, and you never know exactly what's right and what's right. But the relationship with GR and Caldwell Banker is relatively new. That's GRA Affinity, which is the relationship with you guys and NRT and Rheology. So GR, which Guaranteed Rate, which is the parent company, they are kind of like, they're actually a completely separate entity from us. I mean, they're not even related to us at all. I can't even go work in a Guaranteed Rate office. So we are completely separate. So, you know, keep in mind, you know, you got somebody hobnobbing around and they say from Guaranteed Rate, they're my competitor. So anyway.
All right, so we gotta do a funny one now.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, the Shutterbug Award.
Sure.
Thank you.
Shutterbug Award goes to Janet Minton-Coos for being the office photographer and publicist. She's always doing pictures and getting us into the newspaper. Okay, you got one right there.
Oh, and Dan the Man team, 24% of their mortgages to GRA. So we really appreciate that. So,
And he's on the screen, but, and then our last funny one goes to, it's the Mr. Sunshine Award. Goes to Greg Myrick's for always changing the lights so we don't have to work in the dark. He's the one who's always changing these lights up here, guys. He does the lights for us. So, okay, I'm going to turn off the camera now for you guys online. And so you can see the screen, and we'll get through the rest of this real quick so everybody can go eat. Okay, there are no awards for AHS. Okay. This office had 2 warranties in the past 12 months. We have the worst record in the company. The worst. I'm not joking. I don't like being the worst. Does anybody here like being the worst? I don't like when I'm at a meeting in Deerfield being told we're the worst. Refuse to lose. Let's get those cameras. You guys know I went through this. You gotta, what's in their client's best interest is in a warranty that's going to cover them, not a warranty that is maybe a couple of dollars cheaper or is paying something back to the agent. It is our fiduciary duty to do what's in the client's best interest, not what's in our best interest. We've got to get these numbers up. There. Concierge capture rate summary. Okay, we have, this was last month, 22 total listings, 6 total orders. I probably should have gave Roberta an award. She did her first listing concierge yesterday. Okay. We're up some. We were at 17% away from our at the end of the year. We are, the first month, capture rate was 26%. That's puts us at negative 14%. We got to get it up to 40. Okay. Month over month, plus 7%, and year over year, plus 26%. Okay. Gina Garino is at 200% for January. That means that she put more listing concierge packages on than she had properties. So these could have been properties that were not selling, or she may have, because you can put a second one on later if you want to get more marketing. So Cookie's at 40%. And Nadine, we could not calculate because she had 1 order and no listings. So it wouldn't, the system wouldn't even calculate it. So that again was either a property that she had already listed the month before, or whatever the case may be there. But Prospect Square, okay, we only have 11 agents participating in the reports, which is 16%. We had 3,000 emails that went out with an open rate of only 28%. You guys need to be checking that when the Clients for Life goes out. We had a 2% bounce rate. That's not bad. And actually, Sue, you had 52 total contacts, 194% open rate, and no bounces. So your people are opening it up twice.
I threatened them.
How are you? Oh, well, I was gonna say, how are you doing this? But threatening works, okay? Threatening works. But I mean, nobody's rates are like that. That's just incredible. Congratulations. Top 20 agents for reports. Dan Kasich is usually reports pretty heavily. Sue Mahan and Joseph Sperlin. The one who's choosing the reports. We're probably going to do some training on Tuesdays on using these reports because nobody's using them. Moxie Present. I gotta get this out of the way. Hold on a second. Can't see the screen. There we go. Much better. There we go. 6 users, 3 buyer presentations, 8 seller presentations, and presentations that were emailed to were viewed. Okay. Our biggest user is Joseph Sperlin with 4 reports created in January. Joseph is fairly new to the office, and he is in IT sales, is his other career, and he calls himself an IT snob. He loves Moxie Present. He loves our systems, okay? And he is using them. Gina Garino comes in next. Don't look at me. I don't count. That's just for training. Gina Mussolino, then Tanya Watson, then Veronica Shanks.
Woo-hoo!
Yep. In touch. In the past 3 months, we have actually seen an increase in usage. We've got logins is up 60%. Total contacts, I don't know how this happened, is down 78%. That doesn't make any sense. Percent of contacts on listing alerts is down 8%. Listing alerts is down 20%. Website registrations is down 50%. And average imported contacts is up 32%. Total contacts, this is the top 20. You've got Dan Kasich is coming in number 1. I'm sorry, no, Dan Durocheck. Oh, we use it for recruiting. I'm sorry, I saw Dan, thought it was Dan Kasich. Lisa Calabrese, Lisa McGuire, Rick Jansky. These are new contacts put in, guys. Joe Rogowski, Dan Kasich, Gina Mussolino, Judy Milburn, Tracy Hatchard, Brian Coaster, Joseph Sperlin, Kirk Bush, Kathy Coaster, James Benasiak, Greg Myricks, Jessica Lee, Gina Garino, Suzette Kubaki, and Janice Mitten-Coots. That's the top 20 people who put in contacts, okay? And this is your In Touch campaign emails that were sent. Mussolino is number 1 in that. So she's utilizing our emails, the drip campaigns heavily. Okay. In January, the office had 27 listings taken. 2019 in January we had 37, so we were down 27%. Closings in 2020 though were up. We had 59 closings versus 42 in 2019, up 40%. Our closed volume is up 71%, 13 million versus 8 million. We must have been selling some garbage last year. Yeah. Closed average sale price increased by 22%. We went from 184,000 to 224,000. So we had a pretty good January. We could have had more listings, but other than that, it wasn't bad. Okay, now I have on the end over there and right here some documents on the Indiana Housing Report for Lake County and Porter County. Closed sides up just over 10%. The median price is up just over 5%. New listings, this is for Lake County, up just over 9%. And the month supply of inventory is down to 2.5 months supply of inventory. You guys understand that, right? Does anybody not understand that? Okay. A normal market is 6 months supply of inventory. Anything above that, it becomes a buyer's market. Anything below that becomes a seller's market. So we have a huge seller's market right now. Anybody wants to leave Lake County needs to put their house on the market because they are selling. I have created a YouTube channel. You will find all of our trainings. I haven't put yesterday's training in here yet. Haven't had time to edit it. All the trainings and all the office meetings will be on this YouTube channel. So easy to find. Rather than having to keep the emails with the links and try to find the email, simple, you'll just be able to go in here now and find all of the videos. Okay, all the recordings. Okay, let's see if I can get this to work. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see this
Hello,
online.
everybody. I am so excited to announce that we are now officially Coldwell Banker Realty. You've probably seen all the news coverage and heard the buzz that's been building ever since the brand unveiled the new North Star logo last year in gem blue. I'm thrilled that we are now rolling out the rebrand here in this market. I strongly believe that this is a very smart and strategic move that will show the industry and consumers that we are the most powerful and established real estate company, not just locally, but across the country. I'd like to thank all of you that participated in the yard sign survey. I am pleased to announce that the classic white sign was the winner, which you will also see in this email. I can't wait to see all those beautiful yard signs in front of all of your listings. The name and sign transition plan is outlined in the email below. I know that many of you are excited to use the new branding, which is why we've included the brand guidelines as well as an FAQ. For those of you that have signs and stationery with the previous branding, don't fret. There's a reasonable transition period, so you don't need to go out today and switch everything over right away. We've accomplished so much over the past year, and I want to thank each and every one of you for all of your hard work, support, commitment, and dedication. Have an amazing day.
Okay. The FAQs are in these packages on the signs and the logos. So company branded yard signs are going to be shipped at the end of March or early April. Okay. Agents can go directly to D-Sign if they want to order their own branded signs. They can get to D through CB Exchange. Logos can be downloaded in the BrandServe app on desk. So if you click on the BrandServe, you have to register for that one. And then CB Exchange will get you into D to order your custom signs. But you go into BrandServe and you can download all kinds of great stuff in there, logos and other graphics. Okay. Express Docs is going to be moving to a single storefront. This will be the week of March 2nd. The reason for this is because we currently have 24 company Express Doc websites filled with thousands of templates that we're not using. Okay. Your order history will not be transferred to the new storefront because you got to remember we got all new products. Okay, with the reprint. So all the old stuff is garbage anyway. Your headshots and mailing lists will transfer. You'll receive a recovery link with instructions to download property photos and custom upload your own templates. We'll get instructions on that later. You will have access to data after the transition, so if there are any issues with data recovery, a ticket can be opened in Express Docs. If you have custom templates that were created in Design Concierge, you'll receive rebranded templates to upload to Express Docs at no cost. If an agent's custom templates need a refresh, encourage them to use Design Concierge, of course. Coupon codes, vouchers, and store credits will not be transferred to the new storefront, so if you have them, use them. Okay. We've got some changes coming to the Sentry Key app. Showing instructions, no more fumbling with papers. They will be in the app. The showing instructions will. Property details, such as number of bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage, will appear automatically in the app. You can manually end the showing with a one-click feature, so the homeowners can return to the property and they'll be notified. And you keep track of your showings and those of your team members with the My Schedule function. All these features are now available as of yesterday, or today. I'm sorry, today. So be sure to update your app on your phone. And from now on, you have to update your app before you use it. So make sure you do an update on it. Okay. If I could give you guys some potential listing leads, where there's no upfront fees. No one knows how many people would be interested in this. You choose which properties you want to try to list. No penalty for saying no. Turn rate, getting the listing is about 90%. Clients are going to be willing to pay you about 6 to 7% commission. Flat referral fee of $300 paid when you take the listing. So you get the listing, you pay them $300. Would anybody be interested in this? Who would want to do this? Okay. Everybody? Everybody interested in this? Okay. No additional fee for extending the listing either. And no additional fees at closing. Sound even better? Everybody interested in it? Okay. Who wants to participate? Everybody? Okay. Nice to see that you'll be using listing concierge on your listing appointments going forward. It only costs $249. Meets all these guidelines, guys. Meets every one of those guidelines. There's no upfront fee. You choose which properties you want to try to list. The turn rate for people who use it is 90%. We are seeing 6 to 7% commissions with this. Flat referral fee of $300. Well, it's $249. You're paying for the listing concierge. Okay. There's no fees extended closing, and no, and no additional fees. So why are we not using this? Why? I don't understand. I mean, even Roberta said it was easy. And she won the award for techno terror. Okay? And she even said it was easy. I mean, but think about the time and money you spend marketing a property manually yourself. It's worth it. More likely to get the listing, and you're going to get a higher. All right. So I'm going to force you to do it because we're going to have a contest. It's going to be points based. It'll run for the next 3 months starting March 1st, and the price is going to be a $200 gift card. I thought about doing a listing concierge silver package, but I figured give you a $200 gift card, Visa or MasterCard, whatever. You can do whatever you want with it. Okay. So this is how it will work. Your listing concierge turn rate, and what this means is if you're putting it on 40% of your listings that you take that month, you will get 10 points. At 50%, 20 points. At 60% plus, 30 points. Supporting sister companies. 3 times get you 10 points, 6 times get you 20 points, 9 times get you 30 points. We cannot discuss that, figure it out. What are our sister companies? Okay. Design concierge. Each item that you do in design concierge gets you 10 points. Semi-custom is not expensive, guys, and there's nice packages in there too. Moxie CMA for a listing taken. When you take a listing, submit the Moxie CMA that you used with the listing agreement. That gets you 10 points. A 2-to-1 hire, 2-to-1 referral. You help me recruit someone. You get someone in here. That does not mean handing me a name. I can get names out of the system. Okay. Each one gets you 50 points for each agent you bring in. You've got to get them to where they're ready to set the appointment. 50 points for each one I hire. Okay. After 3 months, whoever has the most points gets the $200 gift card. If there's a tie, we'll do a drawing. I was only able to get Dan to approve $200, so I can't do two. But I doubt with the way it's mixed up that there will be a tie. Okay.
Is there going to be differentiation between a team and an individual?
The reason it was done this way was because you don't need to. Okay. Because it's done on anybody. I mean, a person who has one listing that month and uses listing concierge, that's 100%. They get 30 points. Okay. You cannot go over 9 on the support sister companies. Okay. That's for 3 months. Okay. So like a team could well easily go over 9 if we had higher ones and beat you guys. The design concierge, 10 points each. There's only so many that you can do in there. I think there's like 12 categories. Okay. And CMA, 10 points each. Okay. And the teams don't have time to be hiring people for me. They're too busy trying to hire their own people. Okay. It was structured in a way that anybody can win it. And that's why there are limits put on like it going higher than 60% and 9 design concierge, you can only get like 100 points for that, I think it is. Anybody can. Yeah. Pretty, you guys are most likely ones to get the 2-2-1 hires, not the teams. That's the highest points up there, it's 50 points. Okay. So this is our first contest. Let's see how it goes. But we think we got it structured where it will be fair for everybody. Okay. We had recently someone ask about, it's you, Sue, asked about landlords. I found out how we should be doing it. Landlords should be screening their own tenants, but you or the landlord, either one, can use trends using Smart Move to screen tenants, and I've got the link in here. Our Wi-Fi password for Easy Wi-Fi is going to be changing tomorrow to Keys to Homes, okay, with a capital K and a capital H. So make sure you, when you come in tomorrow and try to log in and you can't log in, password will be changing tomorrow. Okay. We've got, oh, you know what? I forgot to put one of the categories on there. Hold on. Okay, I knew I had forgotten something. I got interrupted when I was doing the contest, and this reminded me. For each class that you take, either in by going into the training online or my classes, you will get 10 points for. Okay, and I'll send you guys out strictly the guidelines. Okay, so for every class you take that is Coldwell Banker supported, my classes here, live or online, I'll have to keep a note of who's online. So you will get 10 points for each one. Because look at this, I'm still learning. Michelangelo, 87 years old. Even the wisest mind has something yet to learn. We can all learn. There's a lot of new stuff out there, guys. So those classes will be another one that more than likely teams are not going to have time to do. So it makes it very fair. I'll adjust that before I send the PowerPoint out, guys. All right. Those of you online, thank you for being with us. And those of you who are here, lunch.
Yay.
All right.
Also, feel free to grab as many goodie bags as you'd like. There's much chocolate for everybody.
Wow.
Okay.
Tammy?
Yes.
So the marketing with Lindsay doesn't count as a class then?
Yeah, I would count that.
Okay.
That's Coldwell Banker sponsored training. So yes, that would count. Okay.
Sounds good.
Any other questions?
Nope.
Nope. All right, guys, have a good day.